Okay, now here's the big question, Richard.
Here I go.
All right, we had like the British invasion, that pop music from England that was very popular in America and everywhere. How did your band come to become different than that type of music?
Well, my thing is from Canterbury, okay? For me, I mean, it's the Canterbury Scene, which started with a band called Wildflowers, okay? It's very melodic in Canterbury. It's like melodic things. We had all those bands like the Beatles, Rolling Stones. They all came down when I'm a few years younger than those guys, right? But they started the scene like Led Zeppelin and all that sort of stuff. And that's what created the music scene that came. You know, the Beatles were the main thing, weren't they? This British invasion, you call it, you know, like the Ho, like the Donnelly, it all came to America. I'm a few years just behind that, okay? But that was our market. And so, yes, but the Canterbury Scene is this, you know.
Who's the one that put like the classical influence in the Caravan? I mean, the jazz influence.
I think it's the sing. Well, obviously Pi. Pi Hastings, his brother, was the #1 flute player in England. I mean, his sax playing, he was the Stan Getz of the BBC orchestra. You know, it's like he was the Stan Getz of England was Jimmy Hastings.
Oh.
Okay, so the jazz music really comes, for me it came through meeting the Hopper Boys, and they were Simon Langton. I'm only talking about me, right? So yes, I've always been a choir boy, okay? I have and that comes from my father, who used to sing Nat King Cole tunes, but in an English accent. He had a voice exactly the same as Nat King Cole. He was the #1 singer. So really my Canterbury Scene is my father, Dick Sinclair. And you could call us a line of dicks, if you like, because my grandfather, Richard I in Canterbury, was not quite mayor, okay? And he was an artist, a painter of military things. He was the one in Canterbury, the first photographer that could take a picture of you 2 foot square. And so being a painter, it's like I have amazing, you can find this all on my Bandcamp site.
Yes.
The whole of my history going right back to 1850, right, which is my great-grandfather, was involved in the music scene in Canterbury, and so my music scene is really my family.
Yeah, you have like a softer voice than most rock singers.
Well, I'm a choir boy, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not likely to sing. When I joined the Wildflowers and I met Kevin Ayres, when they eventually joined it, and Robert Wyatt, they have a bit more masculino sort of thing. Like, when they had tunes like which I'd never heard, like Mose Allison, and their voice sounded like sitting over here all night. No, I'm a choir boy, okay?
Yeah.
And so
like Greg Lake.
I mean, it's like, you know, harmonic, you know.
And then, but you know about the Caravan music and the soft scene music, that was like, it was an unusual type of organ being used. They really experimented with
That was Mike Ratledge.
And then the fuzz bass from Hugh Hopper.
All those things were coming in then.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix had just got there just before us, okay? And that was a great influence. All the Pink Floyd were going there already. Soft Machine were the first psychedelic deal, okay? And in that band then there was the leader of the band, Gong, eventually became Gong, because Soft Machine went down to Cannes for a big festival there, you know, south of France. And they got known there. It's very unusual. I mean, it's the first time that drummers played with their shirts off. It's Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play like a boom, boom. He was like a jazz drummer, but a rock drummer, right?
And you met one of the Pink Floyd guys, right? Too.
Well, Robert eventually made a single and went on Top of the Pops, and so I got to meet the drummer of Pink Floyd, Nick Mason. In 1973, we were on Top of the Pops together, doing the single for Robert Wyatt was "I'm a Believer." You know, he did the Monkeys tune, and that, I mean, there's videos of that. I mean, if you want to see any of this, go to my Bandcamp. And you can
Yeah, and then you were on Robert Wyatt's
Rock Bottom.
Now
Yeah,
that
Rock
is an
Bottom.
amazing album. That is so.
Well, he'd had an accident, okay, and he came out of a window when he was a little bit too drunk, and he climbing down the drain pipe, and the drain pipe ran out, and he fell and broke his back. Okay.
Were you there at that party? Or?
No, I wasn't there at this party. This is actually what happened, and so because he was so loose and limp, he came down from 3 stories, broke his ankles and things, and he didn't die, but he broke his back, which meant he was no longer going to play drums.
Yeah.
Okay, so he went to do. His wife was invited. Elfie was invited to go with Julie Christie to make the film Don't Look Back, very famous film in Venice. And so Elfie bought him one of those little electric pianos, and he started to complete the music, which would have been for his band Matching Mole. But Matching Mole finished because he can no longer drum, okay?
Oh wow.
And that's what actually happened.
That's intriguing. That is so beautiful.
I mean, you know, you and I need to do a whole show
Yeah.
where I explain what the Canterbury Scene is, and you can play all the music of Soft Machine, Caravan, Gong, Steve Hillage, and many other things. You know,
Okay. Well, that song Alley Feed. Can you sing a few bars of that
no,
one?
no. It's like L-F-E-B, my lord. I'm not your larder. This is Elfie.